When Ford decided to bring the Bronco back, it got a lot of attention from the market and demonstrated how a traditional model can be reinvented to meet the needs of today's drivers. The success of the Bronco's relaunch got us thinking, what other iconic SUVs from the past deserve a second chance? Throughout the years, these models made their mark in the SUVs market, focusing on rugged construction, outstanding exteriors, and interior design, with cult-like followings. But for various reasons, their manufacturers decided to pull the plug. But we're all for second chances, so here's 8 SUVs we love to see cruising down the road again, and maybe off-road too. Number 8. The Land Rover Freelander. At the 8th position is the Land Rover Freelander. In the late 90s, Land Rover came out with the Freelander, which was a different offering from the storied manufacturer. Rather than the imposing, powerful vehicles now synonymous with the name, the Freelander offered a package that favored younger buyers who wanted to acquire the badge of the legacy car maker without having to empty their pockets. The Freelander was a type of mid-sized sport utility vehicle for the younger, urban-oriented buyer who wanted a Land Rover, designed for city driving without sacrificing off-road capability. The interior wasn't as flashy as the inside of today's vehicles bearing the Land Rover brand name, but still offered as much comfort as possible while behind the wheel, with nice materials and technology that was superior for the time. According to the Freelander specifications, it also came with Land Rover's terrain response system, essentially giving it off-road capabilities comparable to other compact SUVs. We'd love to see the return of an entry-level Land Rover. Number 7. Mazda Navajo. Not everyone would recognize this name, but the Navajo had a relatively cult-like following. The Navajo launched in the early 1990s and was, in fact, a rebadged version of the Ford Explorer. Indeed, it was actually produced by Ford for the Japanese market, with only a few tweaks from Mazda. Although it was only produced in 1994, the Navajo made a name for itself with its striking design and robust styling. Navajo delivered fairly commendable off-road prowess, and it was priced right and could easily appeal to first-time SUV owners who wanted that niche touch. It had a sporty feel that delivered more toughness than the modern urban-style Mazdas that we're accustomed to seeing today. If Mazda reintroduced the Navajo, it could help the brand gain more exposure and be a way for Mazda to diversify its lineup while reaching out to a different type of consumer base. Number 6. The Plymouth Trail Duster. The Plymouth Trail Duster was one of the many SUVs produced in the 1970s with an aesthetic and unapologetic purpose that embodied the American spirit. It's a vehicle that took on the typically square, function-over-form design, without a lot of bells and whistles. From a bygone era of road trip explorer sentimentality, it was basically the Plymouth equivalent of a Dodge Ram Charger, providing the same solid chassis and four-wheel capability, but in a vehicle that was distinctly Plymouth. While the Trail Duster came with a regular roof, it could be easily removed to provide the owner with an authentic off-road experience or a classic top-down feeling while cruising down the streets. It's possible to bring this spirit back to today's off-road market with a new version of the Trail Duster. Nowadays, consumers are more likely to embrace the looks and utility of an old-style SUV, with an increased demand for modern vehicles to have off-road performance capabilities. Number 5. The Daihatsu Rocky. While the Daihatsu Rocky never quite made it into the public consciousness, that hasn't stopped enthusiasts from around the world taking to the car. This compact SUV was all about being no-nonsense, yet practical, efficient, and cheap. The Rocky wasn't the fanciest car on the road, nor did it pretend to be, but it was rugged, functional, and rather surprisingly capable off-road. It was never concerned with luxury, power, or even a high-revving engine. Instead, it was a desirable package that offered durability and the capability to tackle any terrain that was thrown at it. A modern-day Rocky could fit well in today's market where small, fuel-efficient SUVs are the latest thing. The Rocky could be perfect for drivers who want a more eco-friendly SUV, but still want the muscle of the first model. In the ocean of gigantic high-tech SUVs, a simple, effective, and strong Rocky may be what the market needs. Number 4. The Isuzu Amigo. The Isuzu Amigo has a casual, fun vibe that's associated with today's off-road, top-off adventure. This two-door SUV was different from its competitors and sported a very interesting design. In addition to the hardtop variant, it also had a soft-top version, so you could easily remove the roof anytime you wanted. While not as powerful as some of its competitors, the Amigo offered a small, agile ride that was more than capable off the asphalt. The Amigo offers a lot of charm as a fun off-road vehicle that can seat a lot of people at a relatively affordable price for today's buyers. Just picture an Amigo that is built tough, has all the modern conventions as far as current safety standards go, and with a removable top, gives the Jeep Wrangler a run for its money. In the current market, where small crossover vehicles are rapidly gaining more market share, a cheap crossover-style vehicle with the Amigo branding could easily find an audience. A revived Amigo could easily appeal to drivers who are looking for a stylish and relatively inexpensive all-purpose SUV for use in both urban and rural settings. Number 3. Jeepster Commando. Our third pick is a true classic, the Jeepster Commando. The Jeepster was launched in the 1960s as an attempt to compete with other classics such as the Ford Bronco and Toyota Land Cruiser, while offering practicality and an unmistakable image. The Commando still has a cult following, making it the perfect candidate for a revival. In the current market, it's possible to design a Commando to compete with the modern trend of retro-styled off-road vehicles. Jeep has already proved that it can successfully reboot a nameplate with the Gladiator, so a revived Commando under the now Chrysler-owned Jeep brand makes perfect sense. Some old-school Jeep enthusiasts might be attracted to a classic throwback updated with stylish, subtle charm. If there was any vehicle suited to being revived in this environment, it would be the Jeepster Commando, as it offered a Jeep that was usable and stylish with a bit of flair. Number 2. Nissan Xterra. Number 2 on the list is the Nissan Xterra. The Xterra was launched in 1999 as a tough ride designed for adventure and was immediately popular with drivers. It included a roof rack and rear bumper with a step, offering loads of capabilities that made it appealing to outdoor enthusiasts. The aim of this vehicle wasn't hollow flash and faux opulence, but rather versatility and substance. There's plenty of room for the Xterra in today's market. What if there were a new Xterra built with today's tech, with better fuel economy, and maybe even an electric hybrid option? It could be a nice alternative to competing vehicles, such as the Toyota 4Runner for outdoor use SUVs. The rising popularity of SUVs and the rapidly developing trend of extreme tourism may make a return of the Nissan Xterra an attractive proposition. Bringing back the Xterra today could be Nissan's chance to appeal to a newly emerging market of pragmatic off-roading enthusiasts who need a solid vehicle that can take them from point A to B without extreme frills. Number 1. The Toyota FJ Cruiser. And finally is the iconic Toyota FJ Cruiser, which lands at number 1 on the list of SUVs we'd like to see make a comeback. The FJ Cruiser itself was a throwback and revival of classic Toyota models, paying homage to the past FJ series that started way back in the mid-50s with the FJ40 Land Cruiser. The new style FJ Cruiser hit the road in 2006 and production ended in 2014. But it's held a firm spot in many drivers' hearts. Since being shelved, it has maintained its popularity, with the cult following still driving high demand on the used car market, sending its resale value through the roof. The FJ Cruiser was more than just a gimmicky ride with fun looks, it also delivered solid off-road performance. If Toyota were to reintroduce the FJ Cruiser into the market, it would signal the manufacturer's intent to get back to basics when it comes to delivering what drivers want: an off-road capable SUV with classic styling. Each vehicle we've discussed added something unique to the road, which makes you wonder how they would look if styled for today's trends. Which of the SUVs discussed today would you most like to see back on the road? Feel free to drop your comments below. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. We'll see you next time.